Let's start with Barack Obama's early life and parents. His father and mother met in 1960 at the University of Hawaii at Manoa. Barack Hussein Obama Sr. is the university's first foreign student from Africa. Stanley Ann Dunham is Obama's mother. Obama's father continued his education at the University of Hawaii, while Ann Dunham relocated her son to study at the University of Washington. Obama Sr. left the state on June 1962 after graduating from the University of Hawaii. Soon, in January 1964, Dunham filed for a divorce which was not contested. And in the year 1965, Barack Obama Sr. graduated from Howard University. Dunham met Lolo Sotoro. He is Indonesian and soon will be a stepfather to Barack Obama. They know each other at the University of Hawaii and they married on March 15, 1965 on Molokai. Later, Barack Obama attended kindergarten in 1966 to 1967 at Nolani Elementary School. Soon, the year 1967, Obama and his mother settled in Jakarta to connect with his stepfather. From January 1968 to December 1996, Obama attended to the Indonesian language Santo Franciscus Assisi and later, soon, attended to Indonesian language government-run Besusti School. Returning to Hawaii. In mid-1971, he moved back to Hawaii and attended Punahou School, starting in 5th grade. And in December 1971, his father visited him for the last time. Soon, in the year 1972, his mother returned to Hawaii. 2 years later, in 1974, his mother completed her coursework at University of Hawaii. Adult life of Obama after high school. In the year 1979, Obama moved to Los Angeles and studied at Occidental College. Later on February 1981, he made his first public speech, and later that summer he traveled back to Jakarta to visit his family. When he came back, he then transferred to Columbia University. He was a political science major with a specialty in international relations and also English literature. Soon, in the year 1983, Obama graduated with a Bachelor's of Art from Columbia University. He then worked at Business, International Corporation and New York Public Interest Research Group. In his early career in Chicago, he worked as a community organizer for 3 years from June 1985 to May 1988 as the Director of Developing Communities Project. In late 1988, Obama enrolled at Howard Law School. He stated in an interview with Ebony in 1990, "The idea was not to get people to learn how to hope and dream about different possibilities, but to know how the tax structure affects what kind of housing gets built where." During his first year, he was selected as an editor for Howard Law Review. Later in his second year, he was also elected president of the Law Review in 1989. He worked as an associate at the law firm Sidley & Lawson, where he met his future wife Michelle LeVon Robinson. He soon graduated from Howard in 1991 and returned to Chicago. He settled out in Chicago and married Michelle in 1992. Their first daughter, Malia Ann, and their second, Natasha. The marriage had the effect of bringing him closer to other politically powerful Chicagoans. Project Vote. Obama directed the Illinois Project Vote from April to October 1992. This then helped Coral Mosley Brown become the first black woman ever elected to the Senate. Obama was introduced to Chicago's wealthy liberal elite as a result of the fundraising, and he soon met David Axelrod. He soon later led Obama's presidential campaign.
There were Barack Obama's presidential campaigns in 2008 and 2012. On February 10, 2007, Obama announced his candidacy for President of the United States in front of the old state Capitol building in Springfield, Illinois. Because it was also the site of Abraham Lincoln's historic House Divided address in 1858, the location chosen for the announcement was meaningful. Obama emphasized subjects such as ending the Iraq War soon, enhancing energy independence, and reforming the healthcare system in a campaign that projected the themes of hope and change. The presidential primaries of the Democratic Party drew a huge number of contenders. The field narrowed down to two different racial groups between Obama and Senator Hillary Clinton after early contests, with the race remaining close throughout the primary, but Obama gaining a steady lead in the pledged delegates because of more lengthy planning, superior fundraising, dominant organizing in contested states, and better exploitation of delegate allocation rules. On June 7, 2008, Clinton finally left the campaign and supported Obama. Later, on August 23, 2008, Obama introduced his selection of Delaware Senator Joe Biden as his vice presidential running mate. Moreover, former Indiana Governor and Senator Evan Bayh, as well as Virginia Governor Tim Kaine, were among the candidates considered by Obama. Hillary Clinton urged her supporters to promote Obama during the Democratic National Convention in Denver, Colorado. Both Hillary and Bill Clinton gave convention speeches in his support. Obama gave his acceptance speech at Invesco Field at Mile High Stadium in front of an estimated 84,500 people. Obama's campaign broke multiple fundraising records throughout both the primary and general elections, especially in terms of the number of small donations. For this reason, on June 19, 2008, Obama became the first major party presidential candidate since the system founding to decline public financing in the general election. Furthermore, Republican candidate John McCain was selected, while Sarah Palin was chosen as his running mate. Obama and McCain went off in three presidential debates in September and October 2008. Obama was elected president on November 4th with 365 electoral votes to McCain's 173. McCain received 45.7% of the vote, while Obama received 52.9% of the vote. He became the first African American president of the United States. In front of hundreds of thousands of supporters, Obama gave his victory statement in Chicago's Grand Park. He is the one of three American senators to have gone straight from the Senate to the White House. The others are Warren G. Harding and John F. Kennedy. In 2012 presidential campaign, Obama filed election paperwork with Federal Election Commission on April 4, 2011, and subsequently started his 2012 re-election campaign in a video called It Begins With Us on his website. He ran largely unchallenged in the Democratic Party presidential primaries as the president, and then on April 3, 2012, he gained the 2,778 convention delegates required to win the Democratic nomination. Obama received 332 electoral votes on November 6, just above 270 needed for re-election. Obama has become the first Democratic president to win a majority of the popular vote twice since Franklin D. Roosevelt, with 51.1% of the vote. He impressively said during a speech to supporters and volunteers at Chicago's McCormick Place after his re-election, "Tonight, you voted for action, not politics as usual. You chose us to concentrate on your jobs, not ours. Because you elected us to do so, I'm looking forward to reaching out to and working with leaders from both parties in the coming weeks and months."
During his presidency, Barack Obama established a great deal of domestic policies, which dramatically improved the United States in several issues. The first policy is economic policies. Throughout the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression, Obama's North Star was to make the economic work for the middle class and for those fighting to join in. He took a step to create jobs, rescue the auto industry, and rebuild the economy on new foundation for growth and prosperity. Moreover, on February 17, 2009, Obama signed the American Recovery and Reinvestment Act, aimed at helping the economic recover from the deepening worldwide recession. The act includes increased federal spending for healthcare, infrastructure, education, various tax breaks and incentives, and direct assistance to individuals. For instance, he helps small business get back on track and more entrepreneurs start new business, expand and improve job training opportunities, tap the full potential of the digital age while ensuring all Americans share in the benefits. Also, make government more efficient, transparent, and supporting international growth and financial reform. Next is the environmental policies. Obama plans to invest in renewable energy, reduce reliance on foreign oil, address the global climate crisis, and make coal a less competitive energy source. On November 17, 2008, Obama proposed in talk record for YouTube that the U.S. should enter a cap and trade system to limit global warming. The American Clean Energy and Security Act, a cap and trade bill, was passed on June 26, 2009 in House of Representatives, but was not passed by the Senate. Besides this, on March 31, 2015, the Obama administration formally submits the U.S. Internationally Determined Contribution, or INDC, for greenhouse gas emissions to the United Nations Framework Convention on Climate Change, or UNFCCC. In 2015, Obama also announced the Clean Power Plan, which is the final version of regulation originally proposed by the EPA the previous year, and which pertains to carbon dioxide emission from power plants. Moving on to LGBT rights and same-sex marriage, Obama signed Don't Ask, Don't Tell Repeal Act of 2010, which fulfilled a promise made in 2008 presidential campaign to end the Don't Ask, Don't Tell policy of 1993 that had prevented gay and lesbian people from serving openly in the United States Armed Forces. He publicly affirmed his personal support for the legalization of same-sex marriage, becoming the first sitting U.S. president to do so. During his second inaugural address on January 21, 2013, Obama became the first U.S. president in office to call for full equality for gay Americans, and the first time that a president mentioned gay rights or a word gay. Inaugural address. In 2013, the Obama administration filed briefs that urged the Supreme Court to rule in favor of same-sex couples. The last policy is healthcare reform. Obama called for Congress to pass legislation reforming healthcare in the United States. He signed the Affordable Care Act into law, putting in place comprehensive reforms that improve access to affordable health coverage for everyone and protect consumers from abusive insurance company practice, and also proposed an expansion of health insurance coverage to cover uninsured, cap premium increase, and allow people to retain their coverage when they leave or change jobs, including increased access to mental health services. He formed the Mental Health and Substance Use Disorder Parity Task Force to work together to ensure that the Americans are benefiting from the mental health and substance use disorder parity protections under the Affordable Care Act. Also strengthen nutrition standards and promote healthy living, which he created new powers for Food and Drug Administration to regulate tobacco products, offering significant new tools to combat preventable diseases and improve accountability, efficiency, and quality of care. That he established new transparency requirements and a star rating system for hospital, nursing home, Medicare Advantage plans, physicians, and other providers to give consumer information related to quality and cost. More than this, he also improved coordinate of care between Medicare and Medicaid to better serve individuals who receive care through both programs. From the Elder Justice Coordinating Council to identify and prevent elder abuse, neglect, and exploitation.
Obama promised during the 2008 election campaign to withdraw American troops as soon as possible. In February 2009, he announced a plan to bring troops level down from 160,000 to 50,000 by August 2010, including the removal of all combat forces. The remaining troops, he added, would be withdrawn by the end of 2011. For several years, the withdrawal proceeded smoothly, in part because Obama was able to build on the gains achieved by Bush's surge of 20,000 additional troops in 2007, which had helped the government of Iraq to restore a measure of stability to the country. By 2012, only 150 American troops were in Iraq, a number that remained level for about 3 years. As his first president unfolded, however, Obama became convinced that a change in military strategy was needed so that the government of Afghanistan eventually would be able to defeat the Taliban on its own. In June, he appointed a new military commander, General Stanley McChrystal, and asked him to recommend a new course of action. After the 2010 midterm elections, congressional Republicans were much more interested in domestic policy than foreign policy, which allowed President Obama to accomplish a complete disengagement of U.S. forces, at least in terms of active combat of Afghanistan by 2014. Obama and his national security team claimed that they were using a new approach to war that rely on multinational rather than unilateral action, and surgical air and special force strikes rather than automatic troop deployments. The administration relies on bombing rather than ground troops in Libya. However, deprived of it any means reduced the chaos that ensued after Gaddafi was killed. One unfortunate consequence was a radical mob attack on the U.S. diplomatic compound in Libya, in which 4 American officials were killed. During the first year of his second term, President Obama seemed determined to take the United States off the perpetual war footing, sensing the country war fatigue and noting resistance from both Democrats and Republicans to additional commitments in Middle East. The president decided to not launch missile strikes in Syria in support of rebels fighting the autocratic regime of Bashar al-Assad, even though the brutal dictator has crossed Obama's state red line by using chemical weapons against civilians, calling off a planned air attack on Syria at virtually the last minute. Obama decided to refer the matter to Congress, which has written interest in endorsing his proposed course. A few days later, Obama accepted Russian leader Vladimir Putin's offer to persuade Syria to get rid of its chemical weapons. As the president acknowledged, his administration underestimated the danger of ISIS incursions into Syria and Iraq. Indeed, Obama initially dismissed these fighters as a JV team, but the steady advance of the self-proclaimed caliphate and the powerful public reactions to ISIS receipts of videos and graphically show the beheading of 2 American journalists spurred the president to action. In September 10, 2014, speech to nations, Obama announced a plan to degrade and ultimately destroy ISIL through a comprehensive and sustained counterterrorism strategies. 2 weeks later, soon after ordering airstrikes on dozens of ISIS targets in Syria, the president issued an even more militant call to arms against the self-described Islamic State. In an address to the General Assembly of United Nations, the number of American troops in Iraq with a mission to help fight ISIS rose to more than 5,000 by 2016, and his administration conducted more than 10,000 airstrikes against the radical organization. Obama also restored diplomatic relations with Communist Cuba in December 2014 for the first time in more than a half century and visited the country in March 2016. In 2014, the president reached a bilateral climate agreement in which China and the United States agreed to substantially reduce carbon emissions. That agreement laid the foundation for the United Nations Climate Change Conference in Paris in 2015, at which nearly every country in the world agreed to monitor their emissions and develop plans to reduce them. In an effort to tie Pacific nations more closely to United States than to China, Obama negotiated a multinational trade agreement, the Trans-Pacific Partnership, with 12 trading partners from around the Pacific Basin. TPP was caught up in election year's politics in 2016. However, when the leading candidates in both major political parties opposed it, and it was never presented to Congress. So, controversially, had free trade become by the end of Obama's second term, that even Hillary Clinton, who as Secretary of State has called TPP the gold standard in trade agreements opposite.
The legacy of Barack Obama, ACA Affordable Care Act, or we know it as Obamacare. This act was declared in 2010 and used in 2015 until 2020. This law makes American people must have insurance for making sure all American people would get money support from insurance. For poor people, disability people, and old people, the government will support insurance costs. But normal people until upper class people must have insurance, if not they will get charged. Moreover, employers must buy insurance for their full-time employees. Don't Ask, Don't Tell Repeal Act of 2010. This act was used to repeal the Don't Ask, Don't Tell Act, that all LGBT people, lesbian, gay, and bisexual who want to serve in the US military must hide their secret about their true gender or identity. And the military must not know their sex orientation. But in Barack Obama period, this act was repealed, and people can serve as free in United States military without keeping secret about their identity and about their gender. Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act was declared due to the death of Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Both of them were the victims of the murderer and bully, which ended with death. Therefore, Barack Obama, who saw this as a big issue in American, was signed in Matthew Shepard and James Byrd Jr. Hate Crimes Prevention Act. Sexual orientation and gender identity, this too was also be a main issue of victims. So this law is come out to give government have more authority to solve the problem that happened by people biased or hated toward LGBT or lesbian, gay, bisexual, and transgender, and also toward to other various kind of people. For the question that my group want to ask is, question 1. Who were the other senators to have gone straight from the Senate to the White House? And question 2 is, what is Obamacare? And thank you for listening to our group presentation.